Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo woo!
Happy hump day, everyone. Welcome to another Do What Is Necessary live stream coming to you live from Columbus, Ohio. A nice, warm, sunny day. Nice, short t-shirt weather. So tell me you can hear me okay. We had a few snafus with LinkedIn a few weeks ago when we had our last broadcast, but let me know that you can hear me okay, that everything is coming across. It appears that we're broadcasting on LinkedIn, but if you could just give me a post in the comments, let me know where you're tuning in from and that you can hear us loud and clear. But I'm excited to have you with me here for another week. I'm going to be airing some dirty laundry later of my own, not on anyone else. But yeah, let me know that you can hear me okay and where you're tuning in from and whether or not this is the first time that you've ever caught the live stream in person. But if you're watching this on the replay, I just wanted to say thank you, and I wanted to say welcome to the Do What Is Necessary live stream, and to welcome back all of the viewers who tune in every single week and who watch faithfully. So I'm just going to double check the stream real quick because, again, we did have a few issues getting this broadcasted to LinkedIn. Looks like it went to Facebook and YouTube just fine last time. But I'm going to take a pause and just check the footage because I'm not getting any comments so far. But if you're just tuning in, you're tuning in live, let me know you can hear me okay and that the stream is coming across loud and clear. If not, we're going to have to do some troubleshooting with the folks over at LinkedIn. But yes, we are streaming live. This is the Do What Is Necessary live stream. This is all about pushing aside the hustle grind mentality that we've been taught as the way to do business. And this show is dedicated to 100% doing what is necessary for you, because that looks different from everybody else. It looks different from your neighbor. It looks different from your other peers in the groups that you happen to belong to. But again, I'm going to double check and just make sure that we're live here. I'm not showing the stream show up yet over on LinkedIn, so I think we're going to have to do some more troubleshooting with the folks at LinkedIn. But if you're watching live and you can hear this stream and you actually are seeing things, let me know. But yeah, this looks like two shows in a row that we have not made the stream over to LinkedIn. Which is kind of a bummer. That's where most of our audience tunes in from. It looks like I have people watching, but the stream is not making it over. So let me just double check a few things here and make sure that everything is working properly. And yes, it shows that we're online on LinkedIn. Love this technical stuff. Spending 30 years in the technical business, I certainly can understand that things don't always work properly, but I'm going to have to reach out to the folks at LinkedIn to see what is going on and why we are not able to stream live. But again, if you're just tuning in and you can hear me and see me okay, let me know in the comments. But I'm going to take a real quick break and check the stream real quick. So I'm going to go off camera for a minute. I'll be right back. All right, looks like this is 2 weeks in a row that we are having issues on the LinkedIn side. It shows on Restream that we are live on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube, but I am not seeing any connection whatsoever over on the LinkedIn side. So my apologies. I did just post as well for those of you who are watching on the replay and catching this on LinkedIn. That we are actually streaming live on YouTube right now, and I'm going to double check just to make sure before I go tell people wrong. But it is, yes, it is showing that I'm live on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you're watching on Facebook, welcome. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get the comments over on Facebook, but if you're just joining us, switching over from LinkedIn land to YouTube, welcome. So, all right, let's get rocking and rolling. Enough of the technical stuff. For those of you who are going to watch this on the replay, I apologize for the 2 minutes that that we cut back while we were troubleshooting some technical difficulties. But that is the joy of live streaming. Unfortunately, this has been a fairly flawless process for us over the last year. It's only the last couple weeks we run into some issues with LinkedIn, and I'm not sure whether that's on the Restream side or it's actually an issue on LinkedIn side. So I'm probably going to do a few more test live streams. So look for me on LinkedIn to see if we can get this thing figured out, get all of these technical gremlins ironed out. So again, if you're tuning into the show, you're just catching us, welcome. If you're watching this on the replay, welcome to the show. I've got a couple things, and if you hang out till the end of the show, I do have a special announcement that I'm going to make live here on the show. I was hoping to do this for all of our followers on LinkedIn, but unfortunately, we're probably going to have to do a follow-up later to make this announcement so that our Team Orange members and all of our followers over on LinkedIn are able to catch this special announcement that we'll have at the end of the show. So you definitely want to hang out. Please hang out to the end. I promise you, it'll be worth it. All right, let's get rocking and rolling. Let's talk about what we came here to talk about today, and I'm going to air my dirty laundry on air this week about the 5 screw-ups that I made running an MSP. And for those of you who don't know who I am, I ran a full-fledged MSP from 2004 to 2014. I sold that and have since got out of the IT industry, and I now coach, and I turn hustling entrepreneurs, hustling MSPs into calm CEOs. That's all I do now. And the goal for this show is for hopefully for you to learn from the mistakes that I made running an MSP, and I made them all. And I'm going to give you just 5. There were way more than 5, but these are the common mistakes that I still see going on and how I was able to get out of those and course correct in 10 years. And hopefully that'll save you some time, some money, and lots of money, hopefully, and the headache that goes along with figuring it out, the trial and error that comes with running a business. So I do want to ask, if you're watching this live, great. If you're catching it on the replay, what was your biggest mistake running your first business? And if this is your first business, what is the number one mistake that you think that you've made with running your business, your current business or your very first business? So put that in the comments. Hopefully we get some comments throughout the live stream today. And yeah, so I'm going to go first. So I just wanted to get some comments if we could. So I'm going to give you my top 5. And again, these are basically in lower order all the way to the one that cost me the most. It will be number 5. The first mistake that I made was spending too much time figuring out the tools. And when I started in 2004, MSP, Managed Services, was still in its infancy, still had its diapers on. And there was a lot of trial and error in those early days, especially with the tools. And trying to figure things out, trying to figure out what PSA tool to implement, trying to figure out which RMM tool to put in place, and trying to figure out the nuts and bolts of all the technical stuff cost me a lot of time. And as the new tools continue to come out, I still see that as being a problem for a lot of MSPs. They spend a lot of time playing around with the tools and experimenting and trying to figure things out, trying to get that silver bullet, that latest and greatest. And I did. I wasted a lot of time, effort, and money trying to figure that out. So here's my pro tip for all of you MSPs watching this today, and this is something that it took me 10 years to figure out. There is no perfect solution out there. And I don't care if it's PSA tool to RMM, and I know that there's a lot of need for improvement in the market with our tools. But there is no perfect tool. There is no perfect solution. I don't care what it is. So it seems like all of the technical tools are being purchased, and they're pretty much owned by 3 private equity firms now. So pick your horse and go with it. That's my advice. Pick a tech stack that most fits your process, that most fits what you're trying to deliver for your customers, and just go. It is not going to be perfect. And expecting it to be perfect is going to cost you a lot of time, effort, and headache. The one caveat here that I see being a problem for MSPs is getting locked into 3-year contracts and getting out of those. So yes, you want to take your time picking your solution stack, but I think you really only have 3 horses to go with right now as it sits. And I know that there's a lot of folks that are looking to enter the MSP space in the PSA tool and RMM, and there's a lot of controversy on RMM. But you could sit and go nuts trying to figure out the tools, and you will waste a lot of time trying to figure the tools out. So that's my advice. Pick a tech stack, rip the Band-Aid off, and go. I'm not saying don't experiment, don't look at new tools, but book time on your calendar every month to do that. Make sure that there's a specific amount of time and that it doesn't cause you to lose focus on your business. Because it could easily do that. We could spend 24/7 trying to figure tools out. All right, second thing. Second thing is very, very personal for me. The second mistake that I made, the second screw up that I made running an MSP was not taking care of myself. And when I started that MSP, I was 30 years old when I started it, and you're just full of it. You think you can take on the world. And you can to a certain extent, but there were a lot of late nights, a lot of weekends, 70, 80, 90-hour weeks were normal. And that does take a toll on your body. It takes a toll on your mind. And I kept telling myself that the goal is, yes, we want to provide the best customer service ever. And yes, that is what we are trying to do with our IT business. But that is a lie that we tell ourselves to push ourselves beyond what we're capable of doing. And you end up writing checks that your body can't cash over time. And I can speak wholeheartedly about the effects of that. That I've been out of the MSP space for almost 10 years, and I'm still reaping the effects of what I did to myself in my 30s. So that would be my advice, is take a hard look at those things that you're doing right now. And my eating habits were terrible. Let me give you, for instance, of what pretty much my daily eating habits were like. Between 5:30 and 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 to 6, anytime in there, my first stop of the day was Starbucks. Venti mocha frappuccino with 2 shots of espresso was my breakfast. I would pump Coca-Cola all morning. Terrible breakfast. Maybe eat around 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and it was usually fast food so that I could get back to the office and continue working. And then I would run home, hurry up and eat dinner with my family, and then either go back to the office, or a lot of times it was working with a laptop sitting on the couch or in my home office. So I gained a lot of weight. I gained my very little exercise in those early days, and that was a recipe for disaster. And that was a mistake that, looking back, that I wish that I had learned from earlier, because I may not be paying the price for a lot of those things that I did now. The other thing I didn't do was take a vacation, a real vacation, not a fakeation. A real vacation where you took no devices and everything was off, and you had 100% on R&R, rest and relaxation. So my question to you, and again, if you're watching this on the replay, please put in the comments, because I look at all of the comments and will reply back. When was the last time that you took a real vacation? And that is a very personal question. And again, I didn't do it for 10 years. Didn't take a real vacation. So again, debriefing my pro tip to you, if you're running an MSP, if you're running any type of business as an entrepreneur, that you need to make taking care of you a priority. If you have people that are relying on you, your family, employees, you cannot run at 100% if you're not taking care of yourself. So that is my pro tip for you, is to make that a priority. And don't wait till it's too late. I always told myself that I'll sleep when I'm dead. That was my mentality for 10 years. Until I actually started seeing people that were my age and a little bit older that were actually dropping dead. And that's when it dawned on me that that's probably not the greatest mentality to take. That sleep, rest, and taking care of myself needed to be a priority. My gift to you. But again, that was very personal for me. That was probably my biggest screw up that I regret tremendously. Let's take a drink real quick here. Just check the stream. If you're just tuning in, welcome. All right, my third mistake was trying to do everything myself, and it's a trap that a lot of us as entrepreneurs get into, that we feel like we're the only ones that can do things the way we want them done. And it's up to us. Nobody can do it as good as we can, and I'll just do it myself. That it's easier, it's faster if I just do this myself. And I told myself, again, same thing. I overworked myself. I was tired, frustrated, angry, a bag of stress because I was trying to do everything. And the epiphany came when you try to hire people and you try to get people to do things and you've created no systems for them. And you expect them to be successful, but all you're doing, it's a recipe for failure. So that mentality that we have to do everything ourselves needs to go out the window. And it needs. I wish I would have done this much sooner running my MSP. That I wish I would have adopted systems thinking mindset from early days in running my MSP. That when you first start out, yes, you do have to do a lot of things yourself. But with the systems thinking mentality is you actually create systems and process for yourself to know how to do things and to be consistent and to deliver consistent results. But the attitude systems thinking is about the systems thinking mindset is about creating a structure and process for somebody else to take the ball and run with it. And I wish I would have done that a lot sooner with my MSP, because I could have gotten a lot farther than I did in 10 years. And I would have gotten a lot farther sooner if I had done that. So again, my pro tip in debriefing 10 years of mistakes, that's another mistake that I made. And it's easily fixable. It just takes time, patience, and discipline. All right, my next one is, the next two are really the ones that cost me a lot of money and time and effort. And I steered away from, I pushed back on this concept of choosing a niche, a vertical market, whatever you want to call it, but specializing in types of industry for my product and service. And I was in the mentality that anybody that wrote me a check was our customer, can be a client. And so it's difficult to do that because you're running around trying to tell as many people that you can who you are and what you do. And trying to sell to everybody that can write you a check is tiring. It really dilutes your focus on the core of your business when you're running around trying to get everybody to notice who you are. And when you actually take the time to focus and select certain niches, vertical markets, and you get laser focused on a particular vertical market. And for us, when I started focusing on niche markets, it was attorneys and property management companies. We had more, but those were the two primary niches we were focused on. And the interesting thing happened when we started to focus and get a laser focus on those two industries. We got good at the pain points. We got good at solving the particular problems that those industries had. We got very good. Our technical support became easier because we knew the tools, we knew the lingo, we knew how to process and troubleshoot problems. So our speed of resolution was much better when we were focused and laser focused on those specific markets. So my question to you is, do you have specific niches? Do you have vertical markets in your business? And if so, What are those vertical markets? Please drop those in the comments. I'm always curious to see what vertical markets are out there. But those were, again, I steered away from the concept of narrowing our focus for a long time. And again, I could have gotten much further and spent a lot of less money on marketing if I had done that sooner. So again, lesson learned. So my pro tip on this one is you should have more than one niche vertical market. Because we've seen over the last years, if you have a singular focus on one market and COVID happens or a downturn of an economy happens, you're out of business. And the economy, it's been tough on any industry over the last year. So this is the anomaly of anomalies with COVID. But if you specialize in multiple industries and you have multiple niche markets, this allows you to at least stave off or help alleviate those strong dips and downturns in your business, if you have that. And I'm not to say that that's not, attorneys and property management companies weren't the only customers that we had. We had, architects, we had print shops, we had a number of different other businesses, but the core of our business came from those two industries. But it allows focus. It allows you to speed up. It allows much more clarity in what you're doing. So you can actually get to the end results much faster. All right. You've been waiting for the last one. I told you the last one was going to be the doozy of all doozies. So I'm going to take a drink before we get going. If you're just tuning in live, let me know you can hear me okay. Welcome to the show. If you're just joining me, if you're watching this on the replay, thank you for watching. But this one right here is the one that cost me the most money. This is the one that nearly put me in the ground. Was not being a student of sales and marketing. And what do I mean by that? Being a student is really understanding what sales and marketing actually are, how they work. So, like everybody else, I started spending like there was no tomorrow. I bought every single toolkit. I bought every course. I signed up for every guru, did done-for-you services, did telemarketing, spent tens of thousands, probably over $100,000 on wasted money and effort on trying to do marketing because I didn't understand how it worked. I didn't understand messaging. I didn't understand that I was just another option for people to choose from instead of being the only solution. And what ends up happening when you buy into toolkits and those things just to get marketing going, and I don't think that's a bad just to get it going, but when you're copying and pasting and everything is copycat now. And it was the same way when I ran my MSP, but I see it even more now that everything is copycat. Everybody's just copying and pasting. Everybody's websites look the same. Their marketing materials look the same. I even had people knocking off our presentations, our proposals to customers. So when we do that, when everything's copy and paste and copycat stuff, the only thing that a customer or potential customer has to make a conclusion on is the price. And everything came down to a price decision. And that is a common frustration that I still get when customers come to us. When we get coaching clients, they need more leads and everything boils down to price. And this is why. You're doing too much copy and paste and copycat stuff. Because what's even more frustrating to me is when I see campaigns that were part of kits that I belong to that were being sold in 2008, 2009 are still being sold as campaigns for managed services in 2021. The market is nowhere the same. Marketing tactics and marketing messages from 2008 do not work in this market. So I think we have to be super careful about that copy and paste mentality because you're going to get the same results. You're going to waste tons and tons of money and time and effort on marketing efforts that don't work. I know I'm not the only one. So if you've gone down a similar path and spent tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars on wasted marketing, please put that in the comments. I know I'm not the only one out there. I get a lot of people tell me that they've wasted tons of time, effort, and money on marketing that didn't work. And I think that's where becoming a student of marketing and understanding that it does take time, and that just by downloading a campaign and sending it out, you're not automatically guaranteed customers. That marketing efforts take 3 to 6 months to ramp up, of consistent effort for 3 to 6 months before you start seeing results that you can measure. So that's what I did. I gave up too quickly. I would try one thing, give up on it because it didn't work, go to another thing, try that for maybe a month or two. Oh, that didn't work. So I'd move on to another thing. So this is my pro tip, is stop copying and pasting. Stop the copycat marketing and learn how to market yourself and make yourself a category of one. Again, this makes you the only solution to a potential client's problems instead of just being one of the options that everything boils down to price. Because, that is not a game that we want to be playing in, is everything boiling down to price. Because we will lose. It's bad for the industry. It's bad for customers if everything boils down to having the Walmart cheapest price. All right, again, I don't know if this live stream ever made it to LinkedIn, so I apologize to all of our LinkedIn fans. But if you're watching this on the replay, which most of you probably are, what resonates most with you? What resonates most with you about my 5 screw-ups? And please put that in the comments. Let me know if you learned anything from my mistakes, because that's what I'm hoping to do, is to help people to learn from my screw-ups, from my mistakes. So I did promise you an announcement. I promised you that we would get to an announcement, and that's what I want to get to in a second. I do have some good news. I've been working feverishly over the last 5 to 6 months on trying to help MSPs solve that problem, and just entrepreneurs in general that have issues. Because that is the first issue that everyone who comes to me has. They tell me, I need more leads. I need to figure out how to grow my business. And that is the problem that I've been working on trying to solve, and do it in a simplified way, and do it as quickly as we can implement as possible without overwhelm, without gurus and countdown timers and all the other bull crap that goes along with trying to pitch a product and service. I don't want to be that. But if you've tuned in, if you watched any of my courses or training, you know that I am ridiculously thorough with the training that I provide. And this one is going to be no different. And I've been working on this map right here I probably have 200 hours plus in creating this map, and have spent thousands of dollars testing and trying to develop this map right here. So I'm going to go full screen so you can actually see it a little bit closer. And so this map right here is what I call the 30-day high-ticket MSP growth map. I know that's a mouthful, but my goal is to help you solve that problem of how to put in a system without understanding all of the tactics and all of the other stuff that goes along with marketing. How do we put in a system that is customized for your business? And there are 9 simple steps to making this happen. And this isn't going to be just another training course that I'm going to put out there that you're, may start to watch but may not finish. I don't want to be that. I don't want it to put that content out. So I'm doing something way different this time around with this training. I'm actually going to help you build a map, a growth map for your MSP, and we are going to do this live starting next Friday. This is going to be a private live stream. This will not be a public live stream on LinkedIn. This is going to be a private live stream. It's going to be a class environment. Some of it's going to be instruction, but a lot of it is going to be helping you and actually doing the work. And we are going to do this live over 4 weeks so that I can help you put in a system that you can finally have a system and process in place for consistent growth in your business. And I'm going to help you step by step. We're going to work on this checklist right here over a 4-week interval. And this checklist right here is going to go from start to finish to take you from A to B. It is the whole map to take you from tired, frustrated, spinning your wheels with marketing to actually having a system in place that can allow you to grow. And let me preface to say this is not, I'm going to give you 100 leads next month and put 2 commas in your bank account next month. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is something that we can put in place inside of your business that will allow you consistent growth. But this is where becoming a student of sales and marketing comes into play without overwhelm, without upsell products, without all of the rest of the stuff. This is a systematic approach to take you from start to finish through that map. So let me break down. I'm going to go to full screen here. So week number 1 is going to be about picking a perfect customer. This is going to be about things that I wish I had learned in picking a vertical market. We're going to help you find an ideal customer, pinpoint who they are, pinpoint where to find them. And second point in there is we're going to choose a currency. We're going to decide a specific measurable result that your solution helps the customer to achieve. And then we're going to craft a message. We're going to craft a message down at the bottom there. It's the third thing we're going to do in week 1. We've got a lot to do in week 1. We're going to help you craft a message that is going to resonate with your ideal customer. And this message is going to serve the intent for everything that you do going forward, sales and marketing wise. So week number 2, we're going to take those things that we learned in week number 1, move into week number 2. We're going to do a digital brainstorm, digital brain dump together. And we're going to think of all of the topics and the exact steps. We're going to help you create a map for your customers to take them from A to B. From being frustrated with their IT to having a IT system inside of their company that works for them and allows them to grow. We're going to help you build a customized solution. That's going to be also our signature solution, and that is going to be the basis for all of your sales and marketing efforts. We're going to have the message. You're going to have a very specific IP. You're going to turn in intellectual property for your service. Your service is going to be productized into a solution, into a map that you can then roll out to your customers and give them similar map that I just showed you for being able to take them from A to B inside their business with technology. Because this isn't about the tech. And then we're going to move into week number 3. This is going to be about the content. My mistake was going straight to the content. Finding an ebook, finding a book, finding something that I can post out there or create an ad for. And I wondered why nothing worked. It's because I hadn't done the rest of the steps prior to this. Going straight to content will never work unless you have the things that are done before it. Unless you know what message that you're actually trying for the ideal customer that you're trying to reach. So we're going to do that in week number 3. We're going to talk all about content creation. And we're going to give you a unique process for being able to put unique content out there, not copy and paste stuff. And then we're going to help you create the ultimate lead magnet. And for everybody, it's different. But we're going to help you create a lead magnet that allows you to accomplish the very first step in marketing, which is capturing leads. There are only 3 functions of marketing: capturing leads, converting sales, and creating fans. Those are the 3 purposes of marketing. And we're going to help you create a lead magnet, your first one, and you're going to see the system we're going to create for being able to multiply and duplicate other content, other lead magnets. Then in week number 4, we're going to bring it all together and we're going to help you implement a stress-free selling environment. One of the things that I hated doing was selling. And I hated high-pressure sales. I hated all of that went along with it. And that is a constant thing that we IT folks don't like selling. I'm going to show you how to create a process that there is very little selling involved. And that it is going to be stress-free for you and stress-free for your customers. And we're going to do that in such a way that allows you to maximize and get higher paying customers. I'm going to show you the process, the script, what to say, how to say it, and how to present your solution. Let's face it, not everybody's going to become a customer the first time around, but that doesn't mean that they're a bad prospect. It doesn't mean that it's a bad lead. So understanding marketing, we're going to finalize everything with a 2 comma follow-up system. You're going to know exactly what the sequence of messaging needs to be to continually nurture a prospect with the intent of eventually turning them into a client. And that is an entire system and a process, start to finish. We're going to do that in 4 weeks' time, starting next Friday. And again, we're going to do this live. We're going to go through this map. We have all of the things that you'll need to implement this for your company, and we're going to do it live starting next Friday. So, if you're watching this after the fact and you would like to join me and like to know more, please put that in the comments or reach out to me. I'm pretty easy to find on social media, but I would be more than happy to let you in and join us for 4 weeks. One caveat, this is not going to be a free live stream. The reason being is I found that most things that are given away free don't have value. This has a tremendous amount of value, and I think it has a very reasonable price tag because I only want to work with folks who want to finally solve this problem and are serious about doing it. So that's my sales pitch. I hate sales pitches, and you'll find I don't do a lot of that on this show. This isn't a sales pitch. I want to be able to solve a problem finally for MSPs because things are just way too confusing, way too complicated, and take way too much time and effort to put in place. And a lot of them are outdated ways of doing business with sales and marketing, in my humble opinion. So if you're watching this after the fact, and if you've caught the end of this live, I again apologize for those of you who missed this on LinkedIn. I'm going to try to get that figured out, but thanks for hanging out with me this week. I'm excited because Drake White is back this week. He's my inspiration for doing this show, having Wednesday afternoon business therapy. He does Wednesday night therapy. This is music therapy, something I look forward to every single week. So if you want to check out Drake White, he goes live at 7 p.m. Central, which is 8 o'clock my time here in the East Coast. orangenomad.com/Drake White will take you to his YouTube page where you can watch him live tonight. And please support his music, support his show. Great guy, just all-around genuine human being. All right, that's going to wrap the show for this week. I apologize again for all the technical stuff that we're running into lately over on LinkedIn. But thanks for hanging out with me again this week over on YouTube and Facebook. Those of you who join me live, I look forward to seeing you next week. Always stay humble and kind, and always do what is necessary. I'll see you on the next show.